Hi, everybody. My name is Anna, and I will be your instructor today on our project. So today we are making the Rainbow Loom heart charm with bracelet stack, as she had mentioned, and I have them kind of sprawled out right here on the main little sheet here. I'm going to switch over my screen so I can see what I'm. Here we go. Okay. So what I like to do first is walk through all the materials that we are going to need to create this project. So let's start with, so here are the little bracelets. So here's the little heart charm with the rainbow loom that we're gonna make. Super cute, love it. And then we'll make some bracelets to go with it. I'm gonna set them off to the side as we walk through our material list. First thing that you're gonna need is a rainbow loom. Now I used this box here just because it's convenient and I like having things just quick and easy. So in here is my loom right here, a hook, and lots of band options. So I'm going to tuck this away for right now. And I will get it right back out here in a few minutes as we go through the rest of our items that we need. Okay, so we need that. And then if you want to make this bracelet to go with your charm like I did, you will need some of these little plastic links that Creatology sells in the kids section. And then we have a little tassel charms. If you want to use the tassel charms on there like I did. There's tons of charms that come in the bead kits that we're going to use. So you don't actually have to use any of these extra things if you don't want to. There's plenty of things in your bead kit. Then I have on there these charms, these cute little charms, it's on this bracelet here. It's just a little initial charm if you want to use that, or if you want to use the charms that are in your boxes. My daughter's name starts with a P, so I just grabbed the P out for our bracelet today. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but I'm going to have it as an option. So then we will need some plastic or some of these lobster clasps. They come in a set of silver and gold mixed, so you can choose which one you want. I chose gold with mine over here because most of the bead kits that we have gold beads, so I went with the gold kind of theme. So I had mentioned in the material list the jump ring assortment. They come in gold or silver. These are not assorted in the gold and silver mix, but they do have several colors. I'm sorry, several sizes within the link or within the assortment. So you can use those. But I have gold in here. I know it's kind of hard to see with my lighting, but it is gold. But they also come in silver if you opt for silver. You can do that. Then let's see, talked about the alphabet charms. Then the tool set. It comes with other things other than just these guys here, but it has these two. You'll need these two pliers from the tool set, the scissors from the tool set, and you won't need anything else from the tool set today. But those are the three things you'll need from the tool kit today. And then we sell these really awesome bead kits. Now we have, for Valentine's, we have 4 different options. And I have these to show you, but these are the 2 that I had cited. Actually, no, it was the unicorn and the heart that I had cited in the material list. But I wanted to have the other things available for you to see that there's also the rainbow, which you can use if you want to, or this love box. It's got lots of different things also. But these are the ones that I had mentioned in our material list, and these are the ones we will stick with in this class today. Okay. And then if you've taken my class before, you know how much I love my our glue pens. So we'll need a glue pen. Comes in 5 or 6. Every single time I say I'm going to look it up, and I get going in my class and forget. But there's either 5 or 6 of these in one box, and they're great. It's a really good. It's great for jewelry making. You can attach felt to wood. You can do pom poms to other things that you want to maybe felt or whatever it is that you're working with. It's a great pen. It's a great multi-use pen. Okay. Glue pen. Also, if you know my classes, I love the toothpick. Great tool. We'll have this here and then a ruler. You don't absolutely have to have a ruler, but it is nice to have when we're measuring out stuff for our bracelets. So with that, we are going to get started. And we're going to get started with our Rainbow Loom heart charm. So I made another one here, made a couple of them. Actually, I was reteaching myself how to make it because it's been a couple of months since I'd made it. So here it is. Super cute. Love it. So for this, we will need our loom, our hook, and rubber bands. You'll need about 33, 34. I didn't count it out, but I think it's somewhere in there. Somewhere in that ballpark. I'm going to put 2 gold ones. They're in my set. I'm just going to leave them right there. I'm just going to hang them up because we're going to work this way. So you want to orient your loom so they're all even here. And then the U's, they look like the pegs look like U's to you. Okay. Let me take some of these things out of the way here so you can get in a little bit better and the better of the lighting that I have going on here. And I could actually move my light if I need to. I have all of these things already out, so it makes it easier for the class, and they're just in my way today. I'm going to leave this heart these hearts kind of in our screen. Okay, so here we are. So we're going to need several. Let me move it closer to the middle. And then I'm just going to shift my light. I think that might help. Let me shift my light over here. See if, oh yeah, that's a little better. I think that makes it a little bit better for you guys to see. Okay. And I'm thinking I was going to use this pink, but I'm thinking about changing to the red because I think it might make it easier for you to see against this white background. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is I put 2 gold rubber bands, and this is going to be for the hanger, for this hanger right here. Okay. And I'm just going to set them right here in this middle peg. And they're just going to hang out there while we work our rainbow loom magic. Okay, so we're going to start with go down the middle, or actually just the first 2. So you're going to skip this first row and go to the middle peg here, and you're going to go from the first for the second to the third peg with 1 band, and you're going to double it. So it depends on how you like to do yours. You can double it like that, and then place it on. And don't worry if it's all twisty. You can kind of arrange it out. Now I push it down. So I have my first one. You can see here. We didn't do on this peg. We went from here to here. 1 rubber band that's doubled. Okay, that goes from that peg to that peg. Okay. And then we are going to take double bands, and we're going to work down 2 more. So when I say double bands, it's not like the first one where we had 1 rubber band folded over. We have 2 rubber bands, and I'm going to put it on the second peg that we did our first rubber band on down to the next one, and I'll lift it up here in just a minute. And then I'm going to do again 2 down 2. So it should look like this. Okay. Now we're going to work our outside pegs here. Okay. So we're going to take 2 again. And we're going to go from this first top corner. I started left, but you can start left or right. Doesn't really matter. And you're going to go in diagonally. This will be the top of our heart. Okay. 2 more. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. And then we're going to just work down. Oops. For 3. So double band. These 2. Double band these 2. And double band these 2. Now we're going to do the other side. Double band these 2. Now I'll lift it up here in just a minute. Double band these 2. Double band these 2. And I'm going to grab a couple more bead bands. Okay. And then we're going to go from double band from here to here, diagonally at the bottom. And from here to here, diagonally at the bottom. And it looks like a little heart. You can kind of tell it looks like a stretched out heart. Let me get my hand out of the way. You see how that works? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 bands and we're going to stretch them across. We need to band these all together. Okay. So we're going to go across here, but we're going to sneak behind this peg and go. So we went from here, we went behind and then over to this one. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. Then we're going to take 2 bands and go straight across the next row. Straight across here. And on this last one, we're going to double band like we did that very, very first peg. We're going to take a 1 rubber band. We're going to double band it. And then we're going to stretch it across this row here. Okay. So 2 bands over this peg, behind this one, and over this one. Oops. Let me do it. Over this one, behind this one, over this one. 2 bands straight across on this row. And this row here is 1 band, but it's double band. So 1 rubber band twisted twice to go over that. Now we're going to take that same concept and we're going to do what we call a capping band over this one. Okay. So we are going to cap it 3 times. We're going to 1, 2, 3. So I wrap that around that peg 3 times, that 1 rubber band 3 times, right around this peg right here. Okie dokie. You guys ready to flip it over and start unhooking it? And don't worry, if needed, I do not mind doing this again. Okay. So we are going, and this is also recorded, so you can always come back tomorrow, find it in our YouTube, and watch it again and go slow, go slower and rewind if you need to and pause it. I know doing it live is can be a little bit difficult. Okay. So we're going to work now. What I did, see, this is how we put them on there. I'm turning them around. So now it looks like an arrow that's facing me or the heart's facing me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our hook and we're going to reach in. We're going to move that capping band out of the way. So you can see here on the side, we're going to move that capping band out of the way. And we're going to grab those first 2 rubber bands and we're going to move them over to this peg. So it's pretty much just folded over. Okay, so you can see when you start to move the rubber bands where you need to move it, because you can see kind of when you get in there, when you get in there, you can see where it came from, if you will. Okay, so then I'm going to work this one here. I'm going to take these 2 and move them back to this hook. I'm going to move those the ones, the ones that put it all together, and move it up to this. So move those and move that up to here. Okay. So your let's see. Oh, that's a little better too. Okay. See, that's what it should look like. Now we're going to do the same thing over here on the right side. Remove this capping band out of the way. We're going to grab those 2. You want to keep the capping bands on that hook, or on that peg, I'm sorry, on that peg. Here's moving it out of the way and getting the bands and moving them forward. Same thing here. We're going to move all these bands out of the way, grab these 2 here, move them up. We're going to move all these around out of the way, move it up. Oops. Here we go. Move this out of the way, move it up to here. Okay. Now for this one, we're going to do the same thing on the middle one. So we're going to move that out of the way. Let's see, looks like I got something hung up on mine. There we go. Got that middle one hung up on there, or the capping band. Move these out of the way. Grab it, move it up. Grab it out, move it out of the way. Grab them, move these up. Okay, so we're not gonna do the same thing with these last 2. We're gonna actually work them a little bit differently. Okay, because we want to do is we want the heart to be all pulled together. So we're gonna bring these corners into this one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to reach into this top corner, grab those two at the very, very bottom, move them to this middle. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Move them to this middle. Okay. So now everything, I'm just kind of pushing them down. Not too far because I'm about to deband. Now everything is hooked together. So if you look on your side here, you can see everything should be hooked together. If one rubber band isn't hooked, your whole thing can come apart. So that's the tricky thing about rainbow loom, but it's also fantastic when you take these off the hook and it's all beautiful and put together. Okay, so remember these two gold bands that we kind of set up here to hang out? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach in. This is gonna be a little tricky. I'm gonna reach in and I'm gonna move these all around to where my hook can come through, but it's under all of those rubber bands that are hooked on that one. Oops, okay, I'm gonna leave that on there. If I can, and I'm gonna grab it with my little hook here. Now, if you can't get both, that's okay. Looks like I'm having a little bit of trouble getting both. And I'm going to get hooked up here. Okay. Grab them. Ooh, got one. Okay, I got one. Half the battle. And go back in. Go back in there. And grab my other one. See if I can get this guy. Or she's kind of stuck in the middle. And one's okay if you just get one. And you're like, I am not going to sit here and mess with this other one. It's okay. One is better than none. Got my second one. And it keeps falling down. So let me get, it's just a little bit tight. Okay. So you'll see here, I've got two here and two here. Oops, I'm not showing the, okay. So one here and one, or two here and two here. I'm gonna take the ones from the bottom and just pop them over. Okay. And then I'm gonna take these off of here and I'm just gonna tighten this up. Be super careful because these rubber bands are fragile. They will snap. Mine just snapped. Did both of them? Both of mine snapped. Okay. So if you're snap, you can go get another. Should be easier now that you've got them on there. Should be, but may or may not be. I hope it is. Because what you're wanting to do is keep all of those together. And I'm not going to worry about those two right now. They're kind of in my way here. See if I can get them off of here. Yeah, okay. So those away. Try this again. See, even professional crafters have a little bit of issue with some of these little bit trickier things. Ooh, got them. Got them both. Okay. And remember these, and then the nice thing about double banding your rubber bands is if one breaks, still holds everything together, which is good. But my problem was I broke both of mine before a minute ago. So I'm just gonna tighten that up a little bit so you have what's called a lark's head knot there. Okay. So now we're just gonna take everything off of these bands. Now you can use the rubber bands, and what I like to do is when I take them off, I grab it and I do it in a side to side motion. I can get my hand in there. But because these are so tight, it might be easier to use your hook. But I like to do a side to side motion. And we got our little heart here. So now we're just gonna, so it came off. It didn't look exactly like a heart, but I'm kind of shaping it. Okay. Shaping it into a heart. So pull at my corners here, pull the corners up. Isn't that cute? Got your little heart. And then this right here is how we're gonna attach it to our bracelet a little bit. Cute, cute, cute. You can see here, have it all in here. So cute. So that was the hardest part of this whole project, was this little rainbow loom heart. And he's not hard at all. It's just sometimes it's a little bit tricky to see, get the right order. So should we walk through that one more time? think we have plenty of time. That took us about 10 minutes to do that. I won't go as slow, but I will walk through it one more time. Let's see if a different color will be easier to see. I'm just going to play with a couple of colors real quick and see if it's easier to see on the camera. Not really. I don't think white will be easier to see. It doesn't stand out. No. Okay. What about pink? Pink's all right. Why don't we go with a little bit of pink this time? Or how about let's do this little speckly guy. Got a speckly guy here that's pink and purple. Grab a drink of water real quick. All right. And I have my light right in my face here, so I'm gonna shift it a little bit, but I think that still provides a good vantage point. Okay, so we're gonna start with my two little gold guys. I'm just gonna place here on this first middle peg here. And that's just gonna hang out for a little bit. Take one rubber band, and I'm gonna double it over. And put it across these two pegs here. The middle, second and third. Then from then, I'm gonna take two together and put them across the next two. And then two together across the next two. Now you always want them to overlap each other. When I say overlap, I mean the pegs. So you see this one overlaps and this one overlaps. Okay, that's what helps kind of link everything together. Okay, now we're going to take the ones up here. We're going to start forming our heart. Do a little diagonal there. Do a little diagonal there. Okay. I don't know. I'm hoping that's a little bit easier to see. Now we're going to double band down. 2 bands at a time across the next 3 pegs. I guess it's across 4 pegs, but it's 2 at a time. And I'm going to go ahead and diagonal this one over here. Oops, down here. Okay. It's already diagonaled up here, so I'm going to just work down. And then push them down a little bit just because it makes it a little bit easier once we get more bands on there. On each peg, it's a little bit easier to see when you're starting to deband. And we flip this guy around. Okay, so now we take our 2, go on this band, behind that, or on this peg, behind this one, and over to this here. 2 bands straight across. And then 1 band doubled up across here. Now what these different variations of bands do is tighten it up. So you can see it brings this in closer for the heart. So it kind of helps form your heart shape. And then I'm going to do 3. I'm going to do my capping band, which is I'm going to wrap it around here 3 times. Get these bands all the way here. So we have this shape here. I'm going to turn it around. All right. So now we're going to move these capping bands out of the way. I'm going to grab the top 2. Look like I may have another one here. Looks like I've got that one stuck in there. You get that out of the way. And once you've been doing this for a long time, you'll start to kind of see those things. It'll be much easier to see as you're working. Okay, got those 2. I'm gonna move this band out of the way, grab the 2 at the very bottom, move them across or forward. Grab this one, push that out of the way. Grab the 2 at the bottom, move it forward. Move that other cross band out of the way, move it forward. Okay, so I'm gonna come back down here to the bottom. Grab these 2. Move them there. Grab these out of the way. Move these out of the way. Grab the bottom 2. Move them forward. these out of the way. Move them forward. Get these out of the way and move those forward. The middle one, I'm gonna do the same thing. Move everything out of the way. Grab those bottom two, move them forward. Okay, so you have this configuration here. Everything's moved forward except for these last two, which we're actually gonna move them back. Okay, I'm gonna take those two and move it back to this middle peg. Grab this, back to our middle peg here. And what we did, and because we did it that way, what it is it allows us everything to be connected at this middle here. So when we hang it, it's hanging from the middle. Okay, that's what that did right there. Okay, so now everything should be linked. Nothing should be out. Now we're gonna try not to break our I'm gonna call our connecting bands. But it could happen. All right, I'm gonna see if I can kind of loosen those up a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna take those two from the outside and move them over. So it looks like that. You see that there? Okay. I'm gonna tighten this a little bit, but I don't want to break them like I did before. All right, and it's easy just to pop. You can just pop them off. Pull these bands off. You want to use your hook, or you want to do like side by side like I did earlier, or just kind of swaying it side by side. Okay, so we don't need our loom anymore. Set that aside. So we have, this is what it looked like when it came right off. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of shape it into a heart. And there we have our little heart. So stinking cute. I just love it. Okay, I'm gonna move my light back to where it was originally. So that way we can work our bracelets. So I have a couple of hearts here made. And remember, this is being recorded. So if you have any questions or you're not sure what happened, you got a little bit lost or whatever, you can come back in tomorrow, find it, go watch it a little bit slower. And you'll be able to pause it, find it, whatever you need. I know it can be a little tricky. Okay, so let's make this bracelet here a little bit different than what we've done in the past. Okay, not super difficult. We're going to take our links here. Now there's not a link pack that comes with just red, pink, and white or clear. I grabbed these out of the link pack that I put in the description. But just to make it quick and easy, I already have them kind of sectioned out. And then all I did was link them together in the order I wanted them to be linked. So I did. So what I do is you move the opening. It's easier to do opening to opening, and then just slide them together to start linking your cute little bracelet. So just link it for as long as you need it. It can be in a pattern, it can be random, it can be all one color, whatever makes you happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is what I had on that one. And that's mainly probably to fit my wrist. I have a small wrist, but a bigger hand, but at least this one, I don't have to go over my hand. So I don't need too many. And I don't know how many I have out here, so I may have counted it out. Who knows? But I have this one, so I can always wear that one. What did I say? 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did a couple extra. 13, 14. Let's see. Oops, once I get a clasp on there, I probably could use an extra link. Oh, I have one here, so I'll go for it. Okay, don't need that link. Okay, so we have our bracelet. Now, how do we put this guy together? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get some of our jump rings. I grabbed the biggest ones. We're going to grab a lobster clasp. And we're going to put this together. So I'm going to use these two to take my, so I'm going to use this, what's called a chain nose plier. And because I'm right-handed, I'm grabbing the right side. So what I did was there's a seam in your clasp, in your jump ring. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bitty opening where they come together, where the circle comes together. So I'm grabbing it with my right hand, just to the right of where that seam is, or that opening. Okay. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to go perpendicular, so it kind of looks like an intersection, but it's to the left of the opening, and then I'm going to twist it. Never want to pull it open because that distorts your circle and it weakens your jump ring. And then I'm going to slide it on, my link on there. I'm going to go ahead and add my lobster clasp to that jump ring. Okay. Then I'm going to do the opposite. I grasp it and I'm going to twist it back. Now you want to kind of go back and forth. Get them to where they're joined back together. Did mine was a tad bit off, but that's okay. Just want to get them as close as you can back together. So you have that. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side, but we're not going to add a clasp since we already have it on that side. So here you have your bracelet. All put together. Now we're going to add our charm. Doesn't matter what side. On this one, I did it to the side of the lobster clasp. You can do it to any side that you want. So to do that, so we have our rubber band here. So you want to thread it through. I'm going to do it on this side here. You're going to thread it through this jump ring. Your little rubber bands here. The gold ones, the ones at the end that are holding it all together. A little tricky because they're kind of small and a little slippery if they're like mine. Mine are the jelly kind. Okay, I'm going to use where's my toothpick? Around here somewhere. There it is. I'm just going to use that just to hold on to it, to help me grip it. Okay. And what we're going to do is spread it wide open, and we're going to push our charm through it. Right. So it does what's called a lark's head knot. So hang that from our bracelet. Okay, so let me undo that. I'm going to show you again. Okay, so I have this little loops here that we put at the end of our charm. I thread it through a jump ring. Okay, so I'm just going to open this wide and fold my charm through the hole or the loop, and then pull it tight so you have a lark's head knot. Pretty snazzy, huh? If you want to add any other charms, a tassel like we did here, you are welcome to do so. I'm going to keep moving so we can go to our next bracelet in our little set here. Okay, so this one here, this one is just a single chain bracelet with the beads And to do that, actually use the beads, I guess, from the, I said we put our rainbow loom away. Yeah, because I had forgotten we had this one. Sorry about that. And these are the beads that came with my rainbow loom set. And I'm not going to dig out those colors. I'm just going to do a little colorful one. Okay. Let's do our little, I'm going to do like rainbow colors. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Red, orange. I'm just going to stage them out here. I don't know how many we need here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. Purple. And one more round here. That red looks like a little different red, doesn't it? Here we go. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay. Get these little beads out of my way. I'm going to grab these little bands here. What we do is we push them through. So it looks like this. So make these little bead links. It's been a while since I've done this one, so bear with me. That green looks a little brighter than the others, but we're just gonna keep moving. We are going to see if we can get this in there. Sometimes they want to be a little bit challenging, but you can use your toothpick to shove them in there. You can do all kinds of little tricks. And then last couple bracelets are just strictly stretch bracelets. And that's a couple. I think there's just, yeah, there's 2 more. And they're just stretch bracelets. They're pretty fun and easy using your bead kits. And there's charms in those bead kits that you can add to these bracelets if you want to. Make some more gold here. If you want to add them, then you go for it. Now these are going to be more links than we have pegs. So you can, if you have more than one loom, you can link them together. But you don't really need that because we're only using one side. So you can use the one, you can link, you can make this one a little bit longer. I don't know what I did there. I got all kind of, I got myself out of sort, didn't I? I'm a little bit out of order, but that's okay. I got, like I said, an extra orange. And I'm missing a yellow. I'll see what I did there. That's all right. I'll come back and fix it in just a minute. And you'll see this little white doodad here. It's got a C-clip. And it's in, I know, usually if you are using just a regular loom or you've had your loom for a while, it might be clear. But in this little box, they came, I'm gonna use a red one. Came with a couple different colors. And then There we go. You can use alpha beads, you can use different things for that, for this one. Okay, so we want to turn this back around. And what you can do is you can take this little doodad here off the back and move it. And then grab your middle one and extend this guy. It's not going in, but that's okay because we don't need it to be super long. We just need it extended out for 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another one. I'm actually going to go through the middle one because I think that'll be easier. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this middle one here. I'm going to move it like this because I think that way it'll be a little bit more sturdy and get all of them in there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start linking our beads. And this is just, you're just placing them on the, just down the way, down the row in the order that you want them in. Pretty easy. And if we run short on time on the last 2 bracelets, they're actually the technique to put those together the exact same way. So I can show you one. And, but we do those bracelets a lot. If you come to my classes, you'll see the stretch bracelets are usually a nice little, complementary complementary bracelets to any of your stacks. And once you get it on there, you know exactly how you want it. We'll turn this guy around. Did I miss something over here? Yes, I did. So I usually put them in a row and they got all messed up. I thought, oh, you know what? It's all right. I can handle it. News update. I did not handle that well, did I? Almost skipped it. But that wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. Okie dokie. You can see I have it all in a long row, just one long row. They're all, the bands are overlapping over each other. Okay. I'm going to turn this around. And then I'm just going to hang on, let me see something. Yep. Okay. Been a while since I've done this. So I'm going to skip this last one. I'm going to go. I'm going to loop that to this one. I'm going to reach in and move that bead out of the way. And go up. Reach in to move that bead out of the way and just go work all the way up. Now we could do a capping band on this last one here. And actually, that's probably what we're, you know what, let's back up a little bit. Let's do that because I think that's will probably be a little bit more sturdy. So I'm going to back up just a smidge. I'm just undoing what we just did, just working backwards. I'm sorry, but I really messed you up there. Did not mean to do that. Like I said, I'd forgotten about this one and I just did not mentally prepare myself. Back up. Okay, so now we have this, so we're going to put a capping band on this one. You can double or triple, depends on whatever you want. I like to triple. Okay, so now I'm going to start with this one here. And then work our way up. Okay, I'm going to go kind of fast because of time. As you guys, you know, we just did this one earlier. If you can get that heart one, this one should be a fair breeze. But if it's not, that's okay. Not necessarily the rainbow loom, like I said, it takes a little bit getting used to and learning kind of how the rubber bands work together, looping them inside each other, and all that fun jazz. And this looks like a really big bracelet, but trust me, it is not. The rubber band stretch and they'll all just kind of scrunch back up. Yep. You can see now I'm going to look on the sides here, make sure I didn't miss anything. We're looking here, let's see, I'm all linked together. Okay, so this right here was the one I ended with. So I'm going to hold on to it and I'm just going to, you can work back and forth. You see kind of my hands are rocking back and forth to get them all in there. Okay. So now I find that little capping band at the end. And I tripled it. Find that little, there we go. So I have my first two and my last two on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little C-clip. I'm going to stretch this out and pop that C-clip on there. At this side, I'll stretch that capping band out and get it on there. Again, this is a little tricky, so you kind of gotta get this one in there. Come on. There we go. Mainly it's just what we call it Operation Shove It in there. So get it all in there. Okay. So the clip just holds it together. So you got a cute little bracelet. Pretty cool, huh? Love it. I'm going to put my rainbow loom back together here. So it's ready for next time. And then we will finish our little project out. Close enough. Okay. Get all these little things out of the. Now we can truly put that one away. Okay. So in here. Nope, these are the ones we didn't use. Okay. I'm gonna stick with these here. These are the ones I used. We have this little XXO with the heart, and then we have this one right here with the charm and an H. I'm gonna do this one here first because it looks like it's a little bit faster. And that way we run out of time. You'll know how to finish out this one. Okay. So in here there's an elastic cord in this one. There's an elastic cord in this one. This one's clear. This one's white or pink. And you can use whichever one that you want. I am going to grab a box that I had already opened and oops, I didn't use that one, did I? Okay. Nope, I'm not. I'm going to use this. I like to use the clear. So I'm going to go with the clear one. Okay. Do you want about 10 inches? That just gives us plenty of room to fold it or to tie it off at the end. I always like to say 10 inches is a good length. When you're doing stretch bracelets, you will cut some off at the end. So there will be a little bit of waste, but it makes it so much easier when you get to that end. I went ahead and cut my two, just in case we do have the time to do the second one, or at least I can start it. Okay, so I'm gonna move this one out of the way. I already grabbed some of these X's and O's out of here. I already dug them out. Okay. And then we have this little heart. I had a little heart charm on there, or heart. It's just a bead, and I used all of these big gold beads here. I believe I used all of them from this set. Pretty sure. But if, you can always add if you want another heart on the other side, you can always do that. or you can do 2 hearts on one side, or use any beads that you want. You don't even have to use these gold ones if you don't want to. I just happen to like the gold ones, and I think it's a nice little stack when you have things that are a little bit different, but then they kind of coordinate. I'm just going to get all of these in here, out here, just so it makes it easier. Now you can use a piece of tape at the end, on one end, so that way your beads don't fall off. But I'm going to go on a little bit of faith here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, look at that. So I didn't need to use all the gold. I like to do that because that way I can just focus on what is in front of me and keep moving. So I can see. So you can put all the gold beads on. Oops, this one has a little, looks like it has a little bit of the filling in the way here from when it was made. So I just used my little toothpick and pop that out. Oops, my hands are like, I just lotioned them up before this class. And they're slippery. So you can, because this is a circle, round circle, doesn't really matter if you, let's see, got another little, so sometimes there's a little, when they made the bead, there's a little bit of the scrap inside there. So you gotta kind of shove that out. Okay, so I was saying, because it's a circle, you don't have to wait for like that to be at the end. So if I want to, I can go now. Oops. Little trick is how you want to see it. You put it in that order. I'm going to flip this around where the heart is after the XOXO. On that one, it's where it starts. And then you can just thread this through all of them. And then keep moving to get all your little gold beads on. Hopefully I don't run into any more of those little middle pieces because it slows me down a little bit, but that is okay. So remember, this has been recorded, sorry, and you can go in tomorrow and look for this class in the YouTube, Michael's YouTube or Michael's videos. I'm not 100% sure exactly where it is. And find it if you want to show your friends or do this with your friends or make it again later and need a refresher on how to do that rainbow loom heart or how to finish up a stretch bracelet or how to do the link bracelet or any of those things. Or if you just want to learn, remember, how did we open those jump rings again? All of those things are great tools, great things that we learned today. Or even the simple little rainbow bracelet. So you want to bead this to the length of how it will fit around your wrist. Okay, I got my little handy dandy ruler here. Mine's about 6.5, so it's a little bit big, but that's okay. Okay, so move this out of the way, get these little gold scrappy things out of the way. Okay, so what you're gonna do is we're gonna tie this off into a surgeon's knot. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wrap around like you're tying a regular knot. Okay. So now we have it like this. So now what I'm gonna do is, so to do another knot, I have the little loop here, and I'm gonna bring my end through this hole. Now, normal knot, we're gonna take this and we're gonna pull it tight, but we're not gonna do that yet. We're gonna wrap it around again. 2, 3, 4, if I can get it in there. Okay, so now we have it like this, and then we're gonna pull that tight. Okay. And what I like to do is just, I crisscross them underneath and around, and I do one more for good measure. Okay, so I have our knot here. Now I'm gonna get my glue. Now, if you have, another glue that may not be with the little pin top, use your toothpick. And I'm gonna, in this glue, remember, it dries clear. So don't worry about it if it gets on your bead or makes a mess. I'm always making a mess with mine. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull, I'm gonna grab I'm separating a couple of beads, grabbing the inside, and I'm gonna pull it, because I want that knot to drag across a couple of the beads. That glue just drags through the inside and gets all inside those beads, okay? Then I'm gonna cut off my excess cording and let this dry before I wear it. Okay, because we want that glue to dry. How much time do we have left? 4 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and start this one, but actually I'm not, I don't think we'll have enough time. So, but this one right here is the same technique as this, just different beads across, we've got some of these iridescent faceted beads. Looks like a little heart from this unicorn set. So I just use beads from both sides, from both sets to make it. So your finished bracelet or stack, it will look like this, unless you did the rainbow or any other color. Looks like that. So I think that's adorable. So thank you so much for crafting with me today and making this bracelet, and look forward to seeing you guys next month. Thanks. Bye.